The highly anticipated Tennessee Valley winter weather forecast is here.
Chief Meteorologist David Karnes tells us how cold this winter could get.
It is that time of year again, the winter weather forecast. And before we look forward, we always look back and see how we did with the previous winter of 2024-2025. We go with the meteorological winter, which is the month of December, January, and February. We'll start with our temperature. Did okay there. Forecast 2 to 5 degrees above average. We were 2.16 degrees above average. Missed a little bit with the precip. We were forecasting a normal rainfall winter with 14 inches to 16 inches. We actually had 11.11 inches, so we were a little bit below there. And while we were forecasting a trace to 2 inches of snow in the valley, 2 to 4 inches in the mountains, compliments of January 10th, we saw more than that. Boy, it was absolutely beautiful, though, and a lot of you got to go out and play. Maybe you had the day off. Hopefully it was not that much of an issue, but snowfall amounts, we had 3 inches to 3.5 inches in the valley, and some of you in the mountains clocked 4 to 5 inches. Again, 99% of our precipitation, wintry precipitation this winter was all on January 10th, one day. But it was a fun day, right? So what does this upcoming winter hold? Well, we look at the same patterns that we usually look at. La Niña, very light La Niña is in place. And the La Niña, of course, is when we have those trade winds blowing stronger than normal, causes upwelling, colder water from the bottom of the ocean, the Pacific, to rise to the surface. That cooler air has a lot of impacts on our weather across the globe. Even with hurricane season, we have less wind shear, which means more hurricane activity, specifically in the Caribbean, and some of those storms, because of that lack of shear, can get really, really strong. We just got done with Melissa, so that's somewhat evidence of how that plays out. Now, that La Niña pattern also has impacts on our precipitation, on our temperature during the winter season. Typically, during a La Niña winter, we have warmer than normal temperatures, December, January, and February. So what are we looking at? Well, the official forecast from NOAA, they've put out their winter weather forecast. It pretty much matches that pattern, showing slightly above normal temperatures, likely about a 33 to 40% chance, if you want the exact numbers, of getting a higher than normal temperature range for us. Now, we'll look at some of the model data, and really not that much difference in the model. You can see this particular model, this is the Canadian model that's showing warmer than normal air, and we can back that up with the European model also showing warmer than normal air during that December, January, and February time frame. Well, how about precipitation during a La Niña? We're kind of right in that zone where it's typically drier than normal to the south and wetter than normal to the north. So a lot of times it can really go either way. And that's kind of where we're going with the official NOAA forecast. It's showing that zone staying intact where we have equal chances of wet or dry weather as we move through the winter months. So what do the models show? Models are kind of up in the air as well. This particular one is showing dry conditions for the 3-month time period. This one, the European, again, showing wetter conditions. Now, both models do show, when you do a deeper dive into them, December is looking a bit dry with the possibility of it becoming a little more wet as we head into January and February. So what's the bottom line? What are we forecasting for this winter? It's going to be similar to last year. Temperature average 43 degrees, Chattanooga. It is going to be warmer than normal, about 2 to 5 degrees above. Rainfall, 15.3 inches is the average. And we're looking at, again, a pretty normal rainfall year. Can't get away from it. Again, might be a little bit drier in December with normal to wet weather on January and February. That will average out to a normal month. And snowfall, the one we really want to know about, not getting too crazy with that either. Normal snowfall in Chattanooga, 2.5 inches. I'm calling for 1 to 3 inches in the valley, 3 to 5 inches in the mountains. And who knows, we may get all of that like we did last year on one day. Hope you're happy with the winter weather forecast.
And, you know, I was just thinking somebody may have just gotten home and just turned on their TV and only heard the last 15 seconds of that. We want to emphasize that's for the whole winter.
The whole winter. Yeah, the whole, but last year we did. That's what we had. It was that January 10th. We had all of the snowfall pretty much for the year. We had a few slushy days, but the real good snowfall, all of that video was from that one day, January 10th. So you can always, you never want to bet on a lot of winter weather events in the Tennessee Valley, but you can always bet on one.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I like the part where you said warmer than normal.
Warmer than
normal. A
normal.
little bit warmer.
You know,
I'll
I'm
take
getting to
that.
the age where warmer than normal is a good thing.
Oh, yeah. I'd much rather have that than 10 inches of snow.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, and that would be nice for the heating bills too, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.